Hello there everyone, welcome to the stream. Let's just get that wet palette camera cracking on, and then we too can crack on. Good morning to you, Captain Carp. Alright, I think we're rock and rolling and ready to roll. Let's go. We're testing the new mic again tonight. I went and reviewed the audio on the last stream, and noticeable improvement on the audio quality, and that's something we want to stick with. However, g'day Mittens, we had a couple of instances of it dropping out, but I don't actually think it was my audio that was dropping out. It was just the background, the ambient noise. So I didn't actually hear any moments where my talking cut out. So, but yeah, it's still a learning curve on the new audio. So we'll continue to test it out. Test your might. Bum 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 bum. Test your might. Mortal Kombat. What's going on, Mittens? Oh, what am I singing for you? Sing a song to test the mic. Okay, I can do a Rickroll. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A real commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. That's fucking, woo. I need to tweak those settings. Magnificent, wasn't it? Glorious. G'day buddies, minis. What's happening, champion? Yes, alright, so today we're going to probably come close to finishing this. I think it's a possibility. Guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Now that song's in my head, and I'm gonna be singing it all night. Thank you, Mittens, for that. Fuck, I forgot my water. Oh well. Go grab it when I feel the need. Yes, so I'm reasonably happy with the progress thus far on this figure. We're still feeling out how the light's going to interact on the opposite side, and the cold light side. And yeah, still mucking around with some of the skin tone elements and what have you, but yeah, we're starting to see the shape of the model come together. which is nice. And the way that I paint figures, it's often as much of a surprise to me as it is to you how it's going to turn out. Thank you, Mittens. I'm glad that you are enjoying it. So something I try to talk about a little bit, something we do not pay enough attention to in general, is just with object source lighting, and the impact that object source lighting has on different surfaces. So as an example here, we're dealing with rope fabric, and I don't think anyone would make the claim that rope is an extremely reflective surface. And so rather than have the light be just as intense on this rope versus, the other areas, the white fur and the skin, I want it to not have as much impact, the object source lighting, to further reinforce that this is in fact rope. She does have that, indeed. What colour do we want for our steel? Maybe we should mix it up a bit. Rather than using a blue, maybe we should use a red. Fantabulous. Yes, she has got dem boobies on fleek. If you were participating in Monday night stream, you would have asked a question whether I should go with these little booby spots. Like, it's a very anime sort of squeaky highlighting type of thing that I thought I'll just give it a try. I really like it so far. We'll see how it looks when we get the rest of it done. But yeah, it's doing it for me at the moment. No, I think we'll just stick with the morning sky. Fantabulous. Okay, let's go. Oh, right here then. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we got this little gem thing here, this little one here, this little one here. Where else have we got? This little bad boy here. So we've got to make a decision about whether we do some war paint or some makeup tonight. So I'm looking for suggestions about whether we go. Haha, Nicky Jags, what's happening, mate? Whether we go hard or whether we just allow the natural curves. You don't need to say it, Mini Mef. Yes, you are welcome to keep that wonderful comment to yourself. I'll go, mate, once, just for old time's sake. Oh, mate, I'm not actually good on Encanto songs. Still haven't watched it. I'm going to. Love Disney movies, you know that, but yeah, I just haven't got around to it. But have faith, it will happen. Is it? Is it about Nicaragua or just Latinos in general? Ah, awesome. I've heard it's I've heard it's quite excellent. So, g'day, Forks Art. All right. Well, I won't be watching it this weekend because I'm off to the footy, but I'll watch it very soon. You have my solemn vow. So I'd give you a little, triple header. It's going to be unreal. And all of the games are going to be awesome too because the Broncos will know by that stage if they can win the minor premiership or not, or even if they can be kicked out of the finals. Then the Titans are playing for their spot to actually make it into the finals. And then the Broncos Cowboys, which is obviously has been traditionally one of the greatest games around, which is awesome. Well, if the Dragons, oh, awesome, folks. If the Dragons lose to the Roosters, which is actually a possibility, the Roosters have started to come good, then all the Broncos need to do is win, and it won't matter what the differential is. So yeah, it's exciting anyway. Yeah, Surgis is back. It actually is awesome, man. Like I think it's a. I'm genuinely like invested in it, and I'm more invested in it than I am the men's game at the moment because it's so dynamic and unpredictable. Um, Whereas the men's game, it's 3 or 4 teams that continually kick the shit out of everyone. Oh, which one? Which Black Crow? I've painted a number of their figures. It is, yeah. It's dynamic, but if you watch it, oh yeah, Curry, great model. If you watch it 2 years ago, mate, it was a bit of a bludger. It was really quite ordinary. But the last 2 seasons have been really impressive. Um, the skills are improving. The athleticism's improving. She excited about that? I really enjoyed painting Octavius from Black Crow. If you want to try something that's a little bit different, of course you can, Forks. Of course, I would love to see a pic. Well, that's awesome. Um, Really nice patterning on that shirt thing. That's unreal. How do you feel about it? G'day, Jen. Thanks, mate. Yeah, this is one of my favourites. G'day, Scarabost. Thanks, mate. Forks, for me, that is the most important aspect of this entire process. So, if all you get out of it is an enjoyable experience, then that is a successful painting. All right, we need to make a decision on this makeup situation. G'day, Neshland. What's happening? She is a hot babe, isn't she? Look at her. She's so pretty. Edu Heads, welcome. All right, zoom out a bit. Cool. So I wanted to do this fabric on her chest in a weird dark leathery sort of color. So I'm going to try and do some mottling, some patterns. Let's see how that looks. Almost like zebra or something, zebra fabric, or mountain lion, some other weird pattern, because neither of those things exist in the world of Kingdom Death. For some strange reason, I've really begun to enjoy this weird yellow-green colour, which is called pistachio. Begun to really enjoy it on black as a highlight colour for black. It's very, very interesting effect. So here is pistachio. 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 A, B, C, D, E. And your mom and your sister. G'day, Jared. I like the OK paints. They've really grown on me. I started out a little lukewarm on them, just a touch, but they have won me over with a really nice finish. Really nice finish, and I think what works for me just a little bit more than say the Vallejo or some of the other ones is they just come with a slightly more a thicker medium, a thicker sort of consistency. Oh, so you're halfway to Figure Town. Jeepers. Don't know how I feel about that, Bucks. You already have one of my models. Jose is also my imaginary boyfriend. Wow. What an absolute specimen of a human being he is, eh? How's the jawline on him? What's the time now? I started about half an hour ago, mate, so I've probably got another 2.5 hours in me, so whatever time that equates to for you, I don't know. Nor do I particularly care in doing that mathematics for you. Mister, I'll be on Wednesday for sure, rain, hail or shine. Yep. Marriage has changed you, mate. G'day, Jet. Thanks, Jared. Fuck, am I actually doing a camo pattern? That was unintentional. I wonder if that works. Did I finish my thought on the AK paints? Probably not. The consistency was a challenge early on. I found the consistency a bit weird, and their finish didn't do it for me. But as I've gotten more used to how they operate, and one thing that really did significantly help was getting a vortex mixer. Since doing that, I've actually defaulted to them more often than not. Like, this is an AK, this is an AK, 2, so not really in this instance, but I have a few specific colours that I like to use, like Sunny Skin Tones of Vallejo. That's a Chimera. That's a Chimera Vallejo. Okay, let's go. Bunny, we need to get you. We need to get you close-up thoughts, mate. I need you to Need you to make me look better than I am. What do we do with this face? How do we do? How do we do makeup? Find me something that I can do that will look good. Oh, did you? Excellent, excellent. I will go and peruse that momentarily. Wonderful. Yeah, a little bit of war paint's the question. I really like. I don't know if any of you have seen the 100, the TV show. Quite like it. Very good show. Well, it was okay. It got particularly bad in the last couple of seasons, but I liked it. I liked a lot of it. And there was a character in there called Lexa, the commander, and she had some really awesome war paint. So something like that could be cool, but because it's Kingdom Death and because she's a really pretty lady, some like pretty lady makeup could also look good. So I trust Bunny's judgment here. She's our resident female expert, both because she is indeed, in fact, a female, and also because she predominantly paints females and does killer face work on them. Thought it would be worth getting her thoughts. Alright, I'm going to look right now. I'm going to look. Bunny! Wee! Let's all read Bunny's great thoughts together. No, not that one. This one. Whee! Messy and smudged eyeliner. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I could go for that. Ooh, that is crispy. That's just a nice piece of artwork, actually. There's some veins on her face. Oh. G'day, space toy. Which one do you think, Bunny? It is indeed KDM, yes. The Huntress Lioness bust from Kingdom Death, indeed. Cool. Alright, and now let's just give this a little unifying glaze, maybe with some of this. A little bit of this. I like it, Picasso. Yes, they haven't done many busts. They've done, to my knowledge, 3, and they've all sold exceptionally quickly, and they've been actual limited editions, so unfortunate for those people who may not have been aware and wanted to get one, such as myself. Yes, look, Mittens, it's just because I'm very famous and popular, and I get asked to do commissions on things, that's all. Just very fortunate. I've just been really lucky with commissions recently. There've been models I've been keen to paint, or um, models that I've had lying around ready to paint. So just fortunate. Ristal, g'day. Rista, what's going on, champion? Welcome to the stream. We're painting a little bust today. It's the smartest thing you could have ever done, Space Toy. Take it from someone who has done too many commissions in the past and ruined their enjoyment. I'm wonderful, thank you, Arista. Painting a cool model, having a cool time. Okay, let's do a little hair dryer. Just dry this off. I'm just going to mute my mic because I can do that real easy. All right, we're back. So let's do Bunny's face paint idea. So let's take a real quick vote on option 1, being this one, versus option 2, being oh shit, Bunny's added more. Oh shit, this is awesome. Option 2 being let's switch to this thing. Option 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 3, we like 3. Zoom in a little bit there. Yeah, some little red grimy streaks could be cool, couldn't they? I can't really do the head the tattoo. Go, Benny. Alright, let's try that. Let's try that. Dave's come in with a hot and heavy number 2. The overwhelming majority is voting for that. So let's go that one. Let's use a bit of red oxide from Chimera. And maybe a little bit of this Tula-Dwinny red. Thank you, Jet. Alright, where is a satisfactory brush for this? Let's use this one. Let's mix it up with this one first. Okay. So this is Chimera paints, which are heavily pigmented. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix a shit ton of water in with them. So we just get very dilute colours, and we're going to just do lots of thin streaky layers, which will be hard to pick at first. Particularly on this darker side. What'd you do on Discord, you chump? Oh shit! Bucks has come in swinging. Nah, it's not right. It's not a right feel, mate. Space Toy, this is a Broken Toad Rush, and it is a size 0. G'day, Match Fixer. Well, this is a Series 2, which I bought a long time ago. And yes, the quality on that has been excellent. The longevity's been excellent. The Series 3, which is the newer ones, I haven't had as good a luck. So, hey, Chris P, what's going on, mate? Oh yeah, Picasso, I like it. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Spider-Man song. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out. Here comes a spider pig. I don't remember the Spider-Man song. As close as I get. Love hurts. Stop singing that, did I? Weetabix, bonjour. All right. We'll give her. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see 'em dancing, walking around on those, what do they call them? Feet. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. There you go. Classic little rat bags. Thank you, Ariel. Jubs. I should be calling myself Ariel. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? There it is. See him dancing, walking along the streets. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. I would happily do a big Deno singing tour of Disney songs. I could rattle off about. I don't reckon there's many Disney songs I couldn't rattle off at least a few lines of. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to adding Encanto. All right. I think it's time to add something back onto the face. I have a sing-along version of Frozen that I'm quite partial to as well. Yeah, do we want to do Freckles? That's the question. I do love Freckles, but it's a risk. It's a risk. Oh, I don't think I'll be going to the musical, no, mate. Too many kids. See you, Match Fixer. Thanks, buddy. It's not spelt like that, but it's okay because I understood what you were attempting to convey, which ultimately is the job of language, however it's spelt. So this little thing that I'm painting right now is called a cat's eye circlet. It's an implement that you can get in the game. And it's probably one of the most overpowered items, unfortunately, and you get it from a level 1. You can get it from a monster pretty easily, which is a shame. Alright, not going to fuck about with that because this little thing goes on top. Oh shit, I haven't even undercoated this. Let's pretend I did. Great undercoating, Deno. Some of your best work, son. Alright, I think I'm going to do this fur up the top in black, but I'm going to do a different black than what I did on these little things. So we're going to use a little bit of wet in wet. And they don't reprimand their daughters. Ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Run upon God, get some answers. What's a fire and why does it, what's the word, burn? When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the world above us? Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. from a thematic perspective, this black fur doesn't really represent any specific Kingdom Death monster. However, in the community edition, they did a black lion, which was an attempt at creating a little bit of a more interesting early game, because the game does tend to be a little bit boring early on, as you fight the same 2-3 monsters with significant repetition. So I'm just going to assume that this is a black lion that she has hunted. The one where he painted the little chick. I haven't watched it. I saw that he uploaded it. Is it good? Good video? Does Big Dano get a run? Love it when that guy talks about me. The best. Golden rule with painting black. It's so hard for black to not look like grey. I get around this in a number of ways. The main one being the same thing I do with everything, which is contrast paints and an airbrush. But it is something you need to constantly be aware of, is not turning your black into grey. Yeah, I know he got Natalia on and had a chat to her, and it's pretty cool. I'm perplexed why it's a divisive topic, if I could be quite truthful. I mean, there is a wide variety of models to be painted, and if Kingdom Death was one in a line of many female figures that are grossly proportionate and sexualized and male power fantasy and all that sort of stuff. If that was the only models available on the market, and let's be real, right? There certainly has been a history of that being the case. But I think particularly in the last few years, we're starting to see a lot more display miniature manufacturers really coming out with some strong, kick-ass female models. I think you can have your cake and eat it too now. You can have booby KDM models, or you can have strong, powerful women. You've got your pick. So it shouldn't be divisive anymore that there's booby models. But I can understand why it may have been in the past. And that's one of the great things about Kingdom Death is it's one of the only games that I've seen that does do exactly that, Mittens, They've got male pin-ups in there. There's a lot of them. One with a big swinging dong hanging out. Get amongst it. If you're partial to that kind of thing. I don't know that I've ever painted a big swinging dong. I certainly painted some little hidden away ones. Wouldn't mind painting one now that I think about it. That'd be fun. You did one, didn't you, Bucks? I don't remember what it was, but you absolutely had a big old rip snorter. Boo 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 boo, boo 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 boo. Part of that world. It's weird. I thought I was going to be singing Rick Astley, and instead I'm singing The Little Mermaid. It's a funny thing sometimes. Streaming. Yes, I actually really like that one too. I've had a number of opportunities to buy pin-up box sets, right, and they're ludicrously overpriced in the secondary market. So, if you're going to buy a ludicrously overpriced secondary market item, you want to be damn sure that you're keen on it. And I just can't justify to myself the price tag on some of the sets. And I saw one that wasn't that unreasonable, and I was very close to pulling the trigger, but the thing that stopped me was the scale. I don't generally love painting Kingdom Death scale, the smaller scale stuff. I love painting these ones, this scale, big scale, but 54 mil. But I just thought, I'm just going to buy some of the figures when I get opportunity, some of the 54 mil ones. So I've got the Halloween chick on the pumpkin dicks sitting over there to paint. The screaming, the dude one, the one you want. Yep. Yep, the dude, the Manhunter one, the Screaming God one. So good. I'll bring it up on screen. I don't think there's too much that is out of Twitch terms of service. Look at this glorious Dung Beetle Knight fellow. Dung Beetle lady. Pretty lady on a Dung Beetle. Lady Manhunter. It's pretty good. I don't know what that one is. Dude Manhunter. Screaming God. Painter's scale. How good. Sweet. And I think they do some bits you can leave off, which is pretty cool. Your winter Kingdom Death Lady sale. Yay. What's stopping your mittens? Oh, beautiful. Wendy. As always, my trick for painting is to just use a bit of airbrush. So we're going to now paint over this with a black. G'day, Armin. Welcome, champion. Everyone should go follow Armin. I'm painting this. Yes, Monday night, buddy. Monday night, yes. So she's going pretty well. All your shoes floated off. Here you go, friends. Everyone go follow this champion.
I'm back. Fresh.
Not at all, not at all. We all learn at different paces, friends. Oh, do Dash. I would love to, whatever you just said, mate, but no, I don't think I will. Thanks, Bunny. You're the best mod I've got, Bun. Did you know that? Dead set. That one I know to be the case. You're already on the path, mate. My other mod does nothing, Bun. He's rubbish. Couldn't organise his way out of a wet paper bag, that guy. It's been interesting actually. Space Toy, the streaming, because I sort of when I'm painting, I'm not really thinking that much. You know, I'm just sort of doing it, and so I've always had something else on in the background. So yeah, so it hasn't really been too much of a disruption. The biggest change has been learning to look at the screen every few seconds, just to make sure that I'm across chat and what's happening in the world of chat. Yeah, yeah, it's rare. It's rare for me to like be going, oh, I need to focus on what I'm doing right now. It's usually only when I'm doing like really fine detail stuff that I have to super zone in. So I can't say that I feel the same way, Chris. I'm very big on honesty, right? So I'm not going to bullshit you. Watching someone stumble about and try and fucking paint, I find to be an extremely frustrating experience. I just want to slap them around the head and be like, stop doing this. Stop it. Stop it. You're bad and you should feel bad. And this is how you do it better. Like, I just want to help them. That's frustrating. Bucksy. Okay, let's go. Oh, we're on, are we? Oh, we're on. Okay, let's go. All right, we're gonna invite Bucks onto the stream. Right now. Right now. Oh, I think I did it once. I gave a guy a spray for his posture, and then I think I gave him another spray. Some other shit. What are we going to call it? Big Dano rules. I did hear that actually. Yes, I heard that today, and I think it's actually. I love it. Like, if you've achieved everything you want to achieve, why not? I mean, yeah, not many people probably remember this, but she went through a phase when she was in probably, 19, 20 or whatever, and she just wasn't enjoying tennis. And she quit tennis and she went and played cricket, and she played it for the women's Brisbane Heat team. Like, and she actually cracked out a reasonable 70, I think, a creditable score in one game, and just like got away from tennis. Kept her hand-eye coordination up, obviously, which is pretty handy. But it's password one, all lowercase, Bucks. So I think if you have lost the passion for something, go out on a high. You know, don't don't muck about, faff about. Be remembered as a legend. which is something I've done when I retired from my podcasting career. That's a beautiful beautiful comment there, Randall. Beautiful comment, mate.
G'day, g'day.
Oh, g'day.
Oh, g'day, mate.
Oh, g'day, mate. Now, chat. You'll have to give us the verdict on this. So I'm using my new microphone, and I don't know how well it's going to pick up Bucks because that was how I was running it before. So if you can't hear Bucks, let me know, and I will adapt my microphone setup on the fly.
How do I sound? Good? Bad? For you? I'm alright?
Oh yeah, you're fine for me.
Yeah, nice.
What's going on, champion?
Hey, Jack.
Congratulations, mate. Bucks got married.
I did. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got married last Sunday.
Well done, mate. Hope yours goes better than mine did.
How long were you guys together before you got married? So you were together a while before you got married, right?
7 years, mate. 7 of the best.
7 years. Yeah, we were together 9, I think. So
Yep.
we're following suit.
And then just a tasty 3.5 months of glorious marriage. So well done. 10 out of 10, Deno.
Listen, I've got a cat behind me just getting all stressed out. So old style is a bit blind. Go on, mate. In you go. Yeah, you can do it. In you go. Anyway, you were saying? Sorry.
No, look, I was just commiserating about how terrible my marriage was. And that was about it. Yeah, it was good. No, it was best 3 months of my life.
Alrighty.
Good on you, Paul.
Painting gems tonight.
Gems on your Eldar.
Yeah.
Great.
And then I think after we finish this unit off, we'll start something display. Time to get back on the horse. I'm almost over smacking noobs in Magic. Smacking bads.
You're a Ben. Do you have kids, Bucks? You got one little girl, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a daughter. We've got a daughter. She is 7, turning 8 in mid this year. Yeah, a little girl who's a bit of a firecracker and has all the ego that her dad does.
Yeah, look.
Only child, so spends a lot of time around adults. So she's 7 going on bloody 27.
Nika Jaguar's daughter, Charlie Bear, is just an absolute... She's way sharper than her dad, so...
That's not shooting too high, though, is it? From what you told me. I'm just fucking around. I'm waiting for Jags to get into me.
Everyone is sharper than her dad, fair.
So what's been good, mate? Since I've been on, how's the last few weeks? Or because I wasn't much on with you the week before as well. So.
Yeah, no, I've had a really good couple of weeks actually, painting wise. I finished that little jewel in really nice clip. Really enjoyed painting this, and yeah, I've cleared out my backlog of commissions now, so I'm sort of in some clean air for a change.
Nice. That's exciting. What's that leading to? What's after this?
Yeah, it's sort of a bit of an interesting question. I think we could move into a couple of little one-off pieces like an Ignis Art 75mm Pixie, or I think there's actually a vote going at the moment for my next one, which I haven't checked. I'll pop it in the chat now for everyone. If I can find it. If I can find it. No, I can definitely find it. I put it on my Twitter for this very reason. Oh, I'm just going to press my tweet. I've got a button on my Stream Deck now that just lets everyone know I'm streaming.
Yeah, I'm like gone away for like 2 weeks, and everything's been updated.
I'm a pro streamer now.
Yeah, you're a pro streamer now. Get that revenue source going, right?
No, actually, it's been interesting.
Take us to the top, mate.
Ever since I've become a more serious streamer, I've given up on worrying about subscriptions and shit.
Yeah.
And it's been the best decision.
Yeah. You were saying on Monday that you're looking forward to doing a whole bunch more video content.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes, I think probably in the next few weeks I'm gonna turn off the stream for a bit. And yeah, focus on making some video content. So I want to get back into making painting videos. This is how I make this, and then also some board games videos and that sort of thing. So
you're a man of the people, aren't you? You just want to give out all that knowledge you've got.
It's just selfishness, mate. Like, as much as that sounds ridiculous, like I enjoy making videos.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing, making content. Like, I find it fun doing that stuff. So I guess
I'm looking forward to it, man. Some of those videos you've done, well, most of them, in fact, are super helpful, but I've definitely learnt on a couple of them over the last 18 months, 24 months. So.
Thank you, mate. Yes, I would like to, just go back and make some videos. And I enjoy streaming. It's a lot of fun, getting to chat to people live and, doing things. But I do feel like I'm struggling a bit with streaming by myself.
Yeah.
There's only so many times I can talk about my favourite TV shows before I'm sure people are bored. So yeah, just maybe going back into making videos. Don't have to worry about talking about stuff. I can take my time a little bit more with it, and yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Sounds pretty good. I'm excited to see what comes of it. What fruits were bared.
Born.
Tell you, it's weird when you go back to painting army stuff after doing space stuff for so long.
Yeah, it is, eh?
You just look at it like something that's supposed to be important if you didn't paint display, and you're like, nah, it's not really that important. You know what I mean? Like gems, I'm like, I could spend hours on these gems making them look real tip-top. What's the point?
What is the point? That is dead set one of the worst uses of your time.
Yeah. And it's weird like that. That's been something that I've been dealing with a little bit lately.
What? Not the process of eliminating things that you don't need from your painting, or?
Yeah. Combined with still having a strong desire to want to have everything look really good, right? But the time spent doing it versus if I'm going to spend that time, right? Would I not just pick up a bust or a 75mm or a diorama?
G'day, Baleforge.
Infinitely more rewarding. I guess it's got a little bit to do with it's probably got a little bit to do with instant gratification, right? Because the instant gratification now is the result that I feel at the end of painting a bust is probably better than the result I feel at the end of painting a miniature or a squad of miniatures. But then the result after painting an army versus painting a bust to a high standard, the army, is probably a pretty good fulfillment feeling as well. You know what I mean? It's...
Jared's asked us if we've considered doing a video cast on painting commentary. We did toss it up a little bit at CanCon, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Have you guys thought about doing video casts on painting in general too? Yeah, we tossed it up a little bit. It's just a matter of like if there's enough out there content wise to do it.
My
Because
feeling was no.
there's a lot of jibber jabber
Yeah.
about it. There's a lot of people trying to do it, and this might be a little egotistical, but being frank, I don't know that. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I'm not sure that myself or Deno. I think that a lot of the time when you do stuff like that, you spend a lot of time working with beginner and intermediate reviews and stuff like that. And I know for us both, like, although I love helping beginners and intermediate people, and I'm pretty sure Deno probably does as well to a degree, our passions probably lie at the upper end, and there's a lot less happening at the upper end, I guess, would you say, mate?
Yeah, look, I will be less diplomatic than you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy on this stream to talk to people about their figures and try to give them critique and feedback and stuff. But if I'm going to invest my personal time in putting together content video, I want to be dissecting the world's best.
Yeah.
And improving myself,
100%.
Because I'm, yeah, and without going into too much detail, there is value for me in critiquing newer painters in a from the perspective that you really have to challenge your way of thinking and try and understand things that you've probably almost forgotten in a way
Yeah.
about painting and break them down again, and sometimes learning those things again or going back and re-establishing your understanding of those things with the added knowledge and stuff that you have gained over, that period of time, it can actually give you a deeper understanding of the topic. And that's something that I've really found beneficial about streaming, is exactly that. I've had conversations with people on the stream where I've had to try and analyse my thought processes without, in a way that I haven't done for a very long time, and it's been really helpful. So.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Jared. If there was enough events around the world and around Australia, even, or even just on our side of Australia, Queensland, Victoria, and New South Wales, that we could go to every event and host it and cast it, do some of the things that we did on the first Crimson Brush event, plus building on that. I would love to do that. That would be heaps of fun. But there's just not enough, I don't think. And that's not saying there won't be in the future, but yeah.
TJ, Queenslander.
That's definitely something that we sort of, I think, both enjoyed doing.
Yeah, the Crimson Brush was great. Enjoyed it a lot. As you know, I'm passionate about our scene in Australia and would quite happily talk about that for an extended period of time. But yeah, it's going well, mate. I also really struggle with painting like as a fucking topic for a podcast. It's like, come on now. It's a visual medium. So, and I understand you said video cast. Oh, good on you, Bun. So what role are you in now? You're a superstar, Bun.
I guess the counterpoint to everything, Jared. Yeah, we are a small community, but we'll only ever be a small community if we don't sort of take some risks and do some of these things. And I think Crimson Brush obviously was a really great first step for the time we're in now. I think and that's not to override things like Crystal Dragon and other things that have come before that, because there's been plenty of good things. But in the social media era, with obviously with what Trent provides with being able to stream it and do a whole bunch of things, I think there's some things that we can do and some things that we can't do at the moment, but maybe we can do in the future. One of them being, like, I'm really looking forward to when we come up for Queensland Model Expo. That could be a great opportunity to do something video related.
I think that's a very good idea. Yes.
And may I cheeky just say, after taking a couple of weeks away from painting and all things, I've seen a whole bunch of projects getting finished from our local scene, and I'm a fan of a lot of it. It looks like a bar's sort of jumped up a little bit. Like, I'm hoping to see a lot of this in the hand in sort of 8 months' time or whatever it is, 9 months' time.
This thing that I'm doing now, or just in general?
Just in general, like, there's been heaps. I really liked your the duel. That was really good. Jared did a really nice
the Oni, Katsura
Eva's Otoko looks pretty great. Storm is fucking funny. He's painting up this is fucking cliched.
Bunny's painting up a storm. Great stuff.
Hard, and there's a few others as well. If I've left you out, I don't mean to,
but. Jared, look. So there's there's topics you could take, right? So if you just went and said, I'm going to talk about every single release from all of the best painters, the masculines and whatever, and dissect those and talk about things that are good and things that are bad, I think that could provide for interesting content. You run the risk then of alienating said people by doing that, particularly if you're hypercritical, which is probably not likely to happen given that you're reviewing some of the best, but every now and then there's a piece that they like that I would call dog shit. And as much as I am happy to voice my opinions, I try not to go out of my way to upset people, if I can at all avoid it. Then it sort of comes down to, well, what do you talk about in a video format if you're not going to talk about miniature releases and painting shows is one great one, but again, it's just, I don't know. I struggle to find, like, I've watched some, I don't find them that interesting. Am I wrong?
No. So I guess, like, if it's two things, right? It's talking about what we actually enjoy talking about, and then it's talking about what you guys actually enjoy listening to. So when Trent and I get on a mean rant about the glory days of Australian display painting, and we dig up some of the greats and sit there and gush over their work from 20 years ago.
Love that.
We're having a great time.
Love that.
Whether you guys are having a great time or not is up to you guys. Somewhat irrelevant because we're going to do it anyway, but that's what this stream is all about, I've come to learn. But yeah.
I don't think he said Trenton, but he may have.
No, I didn't say Trenton. No.
Trenton was a nickname that I had back in my War Machine days in my podcasts, because it came from an airport that we were in America, and there was a lovely man who was trying to help us with our baggage, and we all knew exactly what we were doing because we'd been on about 8 flights in the previous 4 days, and so this lovely man said, Mr. Trenton, and that was my nickname for a very long time, just from this lovely man getting my name wrong. I do have a board games review to talk about tonight, so I will do that. See you, Space Toy. So look, I will make content till the cows come home if I think it's of value. And I don't know that I would add value in that. TJ, I am indeed a Trent. My name is Trent. Big Deno Paints.
So talk me through the booby sheen. Why are we doing a sheen? Is it leading into all the way for Kingdom Death and
Look,
the sort of anime vibe it's got?
that's exactly what it
wanted
is.
to try something?
Exactly what it is. I was just like, I might give that a try. Do you rate it, or do you think it sucks?
Some angles I like it, others I don't.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat, right? Like, I feel like she looks really cool from this angle.
She has got big.
Yeah, big old bazungas. But, yeah.
You don't notice it until they go all the way around when you turn it to the dark side and you're like, oh, that's just spilling out everywhere.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they're big old bazungas. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like it, but I'm not convinced.
You've got to try things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get better if you don't.
Exactly.
So, speaking of things like
Giant
organ
boobs,
reviews, or model reviews, or
Yeah.
things you get or bought recently, did you jump on board Lucas's latest?
I did indeed.
Yes.
Of course. It was a big Deno. Yeah, just perfection.
That's the closest one I've come to buying two of.
Yep, I could see
right
that.
on the line on that one.
Yeah. I could absolutely see that, yeah. Okay, let's go this colour. He's just got something magnificent about his sculpts, though. Like, they just hit you.
It was for the first. I've never been intimidated by them, right? A lot of people, like, this is a topic of contention with Lucas Venus sculpts, right? Is that people get really intimidated by them. There's so much pressure around painting them, blah blah blah. I'm not sure why, but for the first time, I felt a little bit of it, a smidge of it, with the Arthur and Merlin one. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, man, there's just a lot of just bare clothing on these two. That are like, you've just got to, I was talking to Benny about this, you just got to kind of fill it in, And like, recently I've been thinking about textures and stuff. I'm like, whether I actually enjoy painting textures or not. And I think when you're learning the process of painting textures, it's enjoyable. And then after you do it a few times, you're like, yeah, that was really good. And then when it comes around to doing it again, eventually you sort of hit a wall where you're like, I'm not sure that I just want to do this.
Thanks for the follow, Basky.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I understand the texture painting conversation. That's a challenge. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
It's probably the closest thing to like batch painting, right? In the display painting. Like, you get the sort of same feeling, that repetition equals monotony sort of equation.
Look, I think, sorry, yeah, mate, TJ, the hairdryer is an integral part of my painting. If you've never watched it before, mate, hairdryer is an absolute crucial component. That's how I'm able to crank out a model in about 4 hours.
Super important, yeah.
This one's
strap one onto your desk and keep it there forever.
Yeah, go and buy one. They're like $6 from Big W. Texture is an interesting one, mate. I find texture to be, when it's conscious and intentional, to be some of the best. The problem is a lot of people go, yeah, I was making texture and it's actually not. It's just shit. It's just trash. So I think when you understand conscious, intentional texture, it becomes less of a worry. The thing that scares me about Lucas's sculpts is the knowledge that I can't go and buy another one if I fuck it. which has worried me less and less as I fuck things less and less as I get older, right? You know,
Yeah.
I'm better at painting than I was when I first started painting this sort of stuff, and so I don't worry about, oh no, I'm not gonna do a good job on this Lucas sculpt, so I don't want to paint it yet.
Yeah,
But
you're not gonna give it a, what is it? What's that saying you like? A head like two drop pies. You're
yeah,
not gonna give it like one
yeah,
of those
it's
ones.
not
Or
going to look
head like,
like a bucket of smashed crabs. So,
yeah,
um, but there's still the knowledge that I can't replace it if I fuck it. And I think that one is probably the main one that gets me, and that is exacerbated when you have some of the ones that, you know, because very recently, you know, Lucas Pina's sculpts, everyone knows these people are going to want these. I can
yeah,
probably point to about 5 people that I know will buy 2 of a model that
yeah.
I can just buy from, because I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. I don't have to buy that one. If I decide I want it, I'll be able to get a copy. But you go back to the early ones like the Witches, mate.
Well, yeah, the witches we can probably like put aside from this conversation. I think,
Yeah.
because yeah, what how many 30 made?
The Witches was 137 and Baba Yaga
Uh,
was
yeah, was
33.
30. Yeah, so when we're talking about that limited a quantity, then yeah, like I understand a little bit of um,
Reticence.
yeah, but you know, in the end, they're not going to paint themselves, are they?
No. Not unless there's some night at the museum shit going on.
Fuck, man, imagine if that was real. That'd be the best. Imagine if it just happened in your house, man. All these little wonderful toy soldiers that you painted over the years, just throw a rave in your kitchen.
Batsky, so to buy a figure like this, you know, most busts usually range between 40 to 60 or 70 euro or dollars, US dollars, to actually buy the figure itself. Um, if you're referring to how much do I charge to paint one of these, that's a slightly different conversation and a slightly higher amount. But yeah, there's a whole world of these sorts of figures out there, mate, that I love introducing people to. They're awesome. G'day, Ray. What's going on,
Right.
champion?
I think Sydney painting meetup coming up soon. Is it this weekend? I
Oh,
think.
could be this weekend, actually.
Exciting times for all the New South Welshians.
G'day, NG Lioness. Indeed, yes. Kingdom Death will charge you an arm and a leg, and this particular figure was also pretty expensive for what you get. But
Yeah, this is the one that was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it?
yeah, the sculpt was fucking
Yeah.
trash.
Did you have
Trash
to do a bit of work
bags.
on it?
Well, a bus like this, I'd normally spend about 30 minutes assembling, and I spent 2 hours on this one.
Oi, yeah, 30 minutes is a long time, right, for a bus.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, right?
Might have to come down for one of those.
Yeah, I think we'll tee that up together if we can, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, from the first one, like from a month ago to now, like all the painting that I've seen happen from all the painters and the hobbyists that went and met up for that, like, is awesome. So it's clearly already had an impact. Not to take away from individual efforts, but I think there's something to be said about having a group of like-minded people getting together once a month and bringing in what they've been working on, showing off what they've been working on, and when looking to get a hand on things or figure stuff out. It's awesome. It's a fantastic thing. I'm quite proud of Jim and Sebastian for putting that together.
Yeah. I'll take full credit for that. That was my suggestion.
Was it really?
I don't think so, but I'll take it anyway.
No, I didn't either. But I'm just trying to keep you honest.
It's one of the great things about being the father of the Warhammer painting, the painting scene in Australia.
Yeah, you get to claim it all. Yeah.
So while you're here, Nick and Jags, let me just understand. So is it a tub of cookie dough that you get to make cookies with? Is that right? Is that how it works? So can I buy a tub of cookie dough and then not have it? Can I just give you money? Because I'm not going to cook cookies, mate. Let's be real right now. All right. Well, you ask Charlie what one she wants me to buy for you guys to have. I should buy 3, should I? Jeez. I was told I was buying 1. Now all of a sudden I'm buying 3.
So have you binged out on anything lately, mate? Have you know?
Well, I finished The Expanse, which just was just a wonderful experience.
So you watched the last season? I haven't even watched the last season yet.
Yep, finished the whole series.
Was that because you got to drop the dead weight and just get on with it?
That is exactly what happened, mate. That is exactly what happened. So that was awesome.
Nice.
No, and then recently I've been back into the footy because the footy started. So
Yeah, tell me about it. So AFL just started as well.
yeah,
The Mighty Hawks picked up a good round 1 win against the Roos, but that's probably it for the rest of the year for us as we're in a rebuild. So.
Isn't your missus a Collingwood supporter?
My missus, absolutely not. She's a Hawthorn supporter.
Oh, okay, all right. Must be someone else I know who's a Collingwood supporter. Oh, Nick and Jags is out there selling the cookie dough. What a legend.
Do I want some cookie dough? I've probably got some in my fridge right now, mate.
Charlie Bear is little kids raising money for something.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go buy a cookie dough.
Yeah. But chalk one up to Deno. He'll grab me one, and I'll slap an IOU to him.
Wow.
The things we do. We do for this stream, mate.
I'm getting cleaned out tonight.
Our viewers.
I'm getting absolutely cleaned out tonight.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Towed up. We do our best, mate. We do our best. You know. Yeah, so you haven't been binging anything, like binging all round. I mean, have you been getting hard on board gaming? Have you been playing video games? You doing anything?
No, I've been painting, mate.
Painting.
So let me think. I definitely have been playing a lot of board games. We've been going hammer and tong. I've got my girlfriend playing a new one, which was cool, called Orleans, which is good. Football's been great.
Who do you go for again?
The Cowboys, the North Queensland Cowboys.
Are they good or are they shit?
We won the premiership in 2015, and then we made the finals in 2017, the grand final.
Yeah.
And since then, we have been absolute dog shit.
Did you get towed up by Storm in that final?
We did, yes. Yep, we got beaten by the Storm in that one pretty comfortably. But they finished in 8th position that year, the Cowboys, right? They were dead set about to come out of the top 8, and they just squeaked in. And then they went.
Put a run together.
Yeah, they went on a run. They won the next 3 games, and they were absolutely like the fairy tale. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, if they win, this is just going to be the best." And obviously they didn't, but
yeah,
it was a good run. Jonathan Thurston had retired that year, so everyone had written them off completely. And then Michael Morgan played probably 4 or 5 of the best games he's ever played in his career, back to back, and it fucking shot us up there. Anyway,
my middle brother is a huge rugby fan. He's a huge sport fan in general, but loves rugby. Not something I ever went deep on rugby, but he's a big Storm fan. But he was talking my ear off about it.
G'day, Al.
Hey, mate.
Okay, let's go.
So I have a confession to make. What I've been binging.
What have you been
Is,
binging? Bridgerton
I've
season
been,
1 in preparation for season 2.
I have been buying up Retribution of Syra models left, right, and centre, Trent. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't
What
know.
is wrong with
I
me?
don't know.
Tell me, mate.
I don't know.
What am I doing? Like, once I get like onto something right, I have to have it. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know, these models aren't going to last. We both know that they're not going to be around forever. So like, got to get them while they're there, right?
I did go for it, Cooch. I'm interested in your thoughts, mate. If you think it's worth it working or if you think it's rubbish.
Oh, Cujo's. Yeah, so that's lately what I've been binging out on.
I do like the Retribution models. I'll say that much for you.
Yeah. So I grabbed them. I grabbed a couple of those rolling pins, to give them a try for bases and stuff.
Yeah, I've got them. They're good.
I thought they'd be fun to use. I've seen people using them on foam, on thin blue foam.
Oh yeah.
Identity foam, and it looks real good. Yeah. So instead of doing it on on your,
You'd have to push pretty hard, I'd imagine, but
well, you can get really thin stuff that's like 5 mil.
That might be
With
worth
no,
giving a
and
crack.
it doesn't
Actually,
have the hard. It doesn't have the hard top.
that'd be worth giving a try, wouldn't it? Because
It would.
if you could just like seal it with a thin layer of filler or something,
Yeah.
could be really awesome.
Hey, and you know, like, not to say that I haven't enjoyed sculpting bricks and rocks for that period of time that we got a little bit into, you know.
Who got a little bit into? Sorry, who got a little bit into?
I was into. I must say that if I can just roll it, you know, and then just call it a day, like that might be quicker.
It might indeed be quicker. You are absolutely right.
And I finally copped a bit of this, the old masking putty.
Oh yeah, the Panzer putty.
Yeah. So not the Panzer one. This is the I reckon the Panzer one's probably maybe better because when I've seen you use the Panzer one, it looked really malleable. Like you could just really move it around. Whereas this one feels quite firm. I know Bun uses this one too, so you'll be able to tell me all about it. So you know when you just get you get out. Oh, picked up some more AK bits and bobs like. More mud and dirt effects. I was having to chat to the guy in Metro. I'm like, man, how many different grains of dirt do you think I need? And he's like,
all of them.
And I'm like, you know, you're probably right, mate. Like, you're probably right. I think it's safe to say I'm a pretty easy mark when I walk into a store.
I concur with that assessment. So you think maybe just drop it down a smidge? That's doable. I can tell you for a concrete fact that I shan't be buying 10 of them, Rundle. All right, let's zoom in, Coach, and you can give me your perspectives. I don't know. I like it. I like the spots. I think they work. And I wasn't sure they were going to, so.
Yeah, I'm noticing this sort of style of painting is really sort of catching on around the traps, isn't it?
Which one?
A lot of well, a lot of these sort of anime styles or replications from cell shading or drawings or whatever the case may be. I'm seeing a lot of like miniature painting going on with Dragon Ball Z specific models or whatever, where they're doing all the different, or even Gundams now. I'm seeing a lot of Gundams done in this way.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty fascinating.
There's a really guy I follow on Facebook. His name's Oishi Studio.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's actually from Malaysia. Um,
Is he a Gundam guy?
yeah, he does Gundam and he does uh, he does everything. He's just like a commission painter and stuff. But
Oh.
he does some crazy stuff. I'll send you a link.
Is
Um,
he the guy that does like all the awnings and stuff on them?
uh, no. But my mate Gav sort of put me onto him a little while back, and I've just been following him. He just does really cool stuff. Let me grab a link now. Facebook Oishi Studio. Wish I could be part of that world. How could I live? Oishi Model
There you go.
Art. He's Thai, there you go.
Oichi is type.
Yeah, he does Warhammer figures, he does busts, he does airbrushing on big models. But yeah, if you go back quite a way, he did some really cool airbrush stuff on like Games Workshop figures and shit.
Nice.
Hey, Auriex, what's going on, you champion? What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn.
Great song, though. It's one of my
When's
favorite
it my
Disney songs.
turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the world above us? It is a great song.
So I'll tell you what, mate. I'm not much of a crier, right? But fuck me, having a wedding will get you.
Oh yeah, it does get you.
That messes you up. Thankfully, the photographers were pretty nice, pretty kind to me. They didn't stitch me up too much, but, mate. They stitched up some others, I'll tell you. There's some ugly crying going on.
Scarabost. The ones we were talking about were specifically Lucas Pina, who's yeah done built himself up a brand of doing very limited edition runs, and you know not the majority of busts and figures aren't in those sorts of quantities. Most of the time you'll get, if it's a limited quantity, it'd be 250 or whatever. But yeah, it's so the reason for it is actually quite interesting. Um, the problem is actually recasting. So if Lucas makes 100 figures, right, and he sells them at $50 a pop, and then he makes 100 figures and he sells one of them to a guy who recasts them in wherever, then that guy sells them for $20, and all of a sudden no one buys Lucas's versions. Admittedly, that's changing now in the current sort of climate with well, not the Russian war, but just in general with recasters sort of got a pretty bad reputation. But I've gotten way off track here, but yeah. So what Lucas does is he does a pre-order for a set amount of time, and that set amount of time is the entirety of the print run. So Lucas makes all of his money in advance. He doesn't have to worry about being undercut by recasters for his own products. And then, if people after that choose to try and purchase a recast version, they know it's a recast version after that, and they're making that choice, and they're people that probably need a solid clip around the ear.
I have not seen a recast of anything new lately, though. That's been pretty good, right?
Yeah, well, a lot of the big companies stopped selling to Russia.
Yeah.
And that's where the majority of it came out of. Some in China, but yeah, majority was in Russia. So.
I did not know that.
So yes, Chimera stopped selling to Russia. Yeah. With exceptions, right? Like if fucking Kirill calls up and says, "Hey, can I have a model?" They'll be like, "Sure, Kirill."
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there's a few others.
Yeah, Roman Gruber and et cetera, but yeah. Because I think, and the other factor is Chimera also started building their models, like part building them, so that they could make it much harder to cast them. Like, we'd cast them in 2 parts and then we'd pre-assemble it. Cujo is absolutely correct. Yes, the FOMO, the selling more because people are excited about it. And Lucas is now in a very fortunate position where, he's built up his brand through years of making a limited edition to the point now where, he'll sell close to 1,000 copies of, in some cases over 1,000. I think the Goblin sold 1,100 of a figure before anyone gets it. 3 months before anyone gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to see someone be able to do it and make it, through that way of doing it.
It's awesome. My hope that we can get Seb along a similar path with
absolutely
his figures. All right.
So we'll be certainly doing our best to continue to put them in the spotlight, our spotlight, I guess. Did I tell you Jub got me a few sneaky gifts?
The books?
Yeah.
They look good.
They're awesome, and the Frazetta one is fantastic.
Frazetta, what a king.
Yeah. And I think that one's really good too. The Paul Bono one's really, really nice. That's the one that I think a lot of display painters have their hands on, I think.
Well, I'm going to be doing Seb's. Maybe I'll do Seb's bust next. See you, Nick and Jags. I might do Seb's bust next, maybe.
Which one? Otoko or one of the others?
Katsuru Otoko.
Did you end up getting the Jugs one as well? You did, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't. I liked it a lot after seeing it on the weekend, but no, I didn't. That's not to say I won't in the future. That's a good point, Cooge.
Yeah, you definitely don't see as many as there are bought. But I don't know. I think you see a few, right? Mercenary Goblin. It felt like everyone was painting that.
Yeah. But the thing about them is that they're actually quite challenging to paint sometimes because they are so elegant and simple and simplistic that there's no margin for error.
Yeah. There's no place to hide on them either, is there?
No. No, buddy, this is a commission, this one. So this is going to some other dude's collection. See you, Mittens. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
See you, Mittens.
It is, yeah, it is a KDM bus, Cooge. It's the Lioness. It was a limited run that was it the Valentine's Day sale maybe? I don't remember. It was one of the sales recently that they did. Uh, they did a butcher. I think they've done four. They did a butcher bus and they did another chick bus and they did this one. Maybe it's only three. They haven't done a lot. People are crying out for them though. I'd paint the fuck out of them. Yeah,
Yeah, you go pretty hard for KDMA.
I love it. I think it's a testament to one crazy guy and what you can achieve if you put your mind to it, and also how you can then fuck what you've achieved.
In one fell swoop.
Yeah. Like he's managed to basically destroy all of the greatness of what he achieved initially by just people want to buy his stuff, man.
Yeah.
Let them buy your stuff. It's the rule of retail, mate.
It is a quirky business model. I will say that.
How's he fucked it? It's quite a long and somewhat interesting tale. But he basically the guy who came up with Kingdom Death did a Kickstarter in I think it was 2011 or 2012. It was a long time ago, and it was this ambitious, crazy project with like gothic body horror, crazy like boss fights, conceptual, settlement building and all this sort of stuff. And everyone was like, "Oh, this looks pretty fucking wild." And so he ended up funding and made a fair amount of money. And the project then went like just off the rails. He struggled to get it, and it was so ambitious. And he'd initially sold it in the first Kickstarter for $100, and he was kidding himself. So he finally got it out in about 2014, and people were just raving about it, like they loved it, absolutely loved it. And he then went and did a second Kickstarter in 2015. And in this one, he pitched a lot of new content. So initially, the game came with some expansions you could purchase, and there was 12 of them. So he pitched a version 1.5 where he fixed up a few of the issues with the game, and he released 15 new expansions, and he came up with a couple of like alternative play modes, which is called Campaigns of Death and the Gambler's Chest. And then since 2015, no one has received any new content at all. He's only just recently managed to supply people in the last 12 months with the copies that they purchased of the original game in 2015. Now, I don't believe it's through lack of effort, right? But he's just so you get two sorts of people in the world, right? You get creators like artists and creators who are terrible at organising things but great at coming up with ideas, and then you get bureaucrats, organisers, and you sort of the people that want to make board games generally are the first type because they come up with these fantastic ideas and they come up with crazy cool stuff.
Not really built for it logistically though, eh?
But they can't. And the thing that probably blows people away when you hear it is his second Kickstarter made $12.5 million US. It was the highest board game Kickstarter for forever, up until literally 2020 when Frosthaven overtook it, and only barely overtook it at that. So yeah, it was a absolutely phenomenal success that probably the guy wasn't expecting. It creates a logistical nightmare. You know, manufacturing 100 copies of a thing is vastly different to manufacturing 100,000 copies of a thing. And yeah, so it's still, to this very moment in time, yet to be fulfilled, and it's still yet to even be printed. It's still yet to even be finished. And I don't know the guy personally. I've never met him, wouldn't know him from a bar of soap. But it feels to me like he's a crazy left brain guy who needs a solid right brain guy to sit down and go, okay, this is how we fix this problem. But it's a fucking lot of time has passed. Legitimately, like, people have died since they bought it. 7
Waiting
years.
for it, yeah.
7 years waiting for it.
Probably quite a few people these days, you know.
Well, and again, you're right, Cujo. Like, he's basically come out and said, I've brought other people in to try and help me manage the game, and they just don't get it. They don't understand the game. You need someone who has, you know, a really fundamental understanding of the game, but is also logistically minded. And I don't know, there's not a lot of people that are that way inclined, probably, other than myself. Maybe I should apply.
Save him.
Save the poots. Get in there, Deno. Be the saviour of the gambler's chest. So it's a wild situation that people, and the amount of money people spent back then too. We're not talking like, you know, $50. Oh, I'm disappointed. I've lost my $50. Some of the pledge levels were $2,000, and people are just going apeshit and like, Satan's pledge, give me everything, $2,000. You do, yeah, Jared. So Kickstarter is very clear and explicit about this. You're not purchasing a product. Like, it is not a store. So if you invest in a project, you are investing in a creator and their vision for a product. And those creators obviously have to, in good faith, attempt to fulfill it. But there's been Kickstarters that just have disappeared, taken the money and run. And there's some that have tried, like legitimately tried. There's one that comes to mind recently. It was called Unbroken, and the dude who made it, he was this really, you know, passionate creator. G'day, girl painting. He was really passionate about his game that he'd come up with, and he wasn't sure on the logistics side of things, so he paired with a company called Golden Bell Games. This is just testing my memory now. And Golden Bell Games took him for a ride, took all of his money, and didn't put out the product, and yeah, it was a wild time. And the poor guy, like, he stayed very visible and transparent the whole way through, like the guy who'd written the game, but yeah, he then had to basically front up the money himself to fulfill all of these games that people had been expecting to get, and this other mob had run off with. So it was a bit of a, and the other aspect of it that probably doesn't get enough press, thanks girl painting, is the issue of creators living in other countries and not being beholden by legal issues in America, right? So if someone buys something in America, you know, they have legal protection, right? But if you've got a company that's manufacturing a product in the Ukraine or Poland, there's a lot of miniature companies in Poland, and
Quite a few in Ukraine as well.
there
eh?
is, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that caught me off guard.
And something goes wrong, you know, legally, they don't have any recourse. Yeah, Golden Bell's a shocker. Hey, girl painting, I think you're German, aren't you? If I remember rightly.
don't. I'm not a big Kickstarter guy. I've never really sort of delved into it too much. A few little things here and there, but I'd like to check out the Anesthesia one that's coming up. I think that will be good.
I'm a big Kickstarter guy, right? And so, Jared, I've painted you the picture of all the bad stuff, right? But probably 90% of projects fulfill, usually late, but they fulfill, and you get your products, and it's usually an absolute steal of a deal. The amount of cash money that you get off is outrageous. Like those people who've backed that $2,000, if you were to try and buy those pledge levels now, and I can tell you this because I have considered it, they run you somewhere around $3 to $4 grand. The Gambler's Chest was initially pitched at $100. It's now $400 to buy at retail. Campaigns of Death was pitched at, I think it was $50 in the first Kickstarter, and now it's $175. And yeah, one of the pledge levels was the 15 expansions, and they were about $1,000, and I think they're $2,500 now. Yeah. So and look, I like to think of it as if I don't get the product that I've invested in, that's just part and parcel of Kickstarter, right? But what is really exciting is when you find a project that that's from a little manufacturer, or someone who's just really passionate about their idea. And one that I've been talking about a lot recently is called Oathsworn. If you've found this little game, and this guy's like, he's like, here, I want to make this game. I need support to do it. I can't do it without people committing funds. This is a way to make dreams like that happen, and that's a product that looks like it's going to blow most games out of the water. Yep. Yeah. 12 mil, 12.5 mil for Kingdom Death 1.5 in 2015, and he's fulfilled nothing. It's outrageous.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
But imagine expecting, his first Kickstarter got $1 million. He got, he's maybe got.
So you're thinking like, you're thinking like,
fucking 10,000
maybe I do
copies.
3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's a wild success.
Yeah. And he's
12.5.
and 12, and all of a sudden your 10,000 copies you're expecting is now 100,000, and the logistics of that just becomes outrageous, because you think about, where do you ship the games? Because a normal board game, right? There's a really good article on a dude called Stonemeyer Games. He's a really interesting guy. He writes a lot of articles and does a lot of videos about the other side of game manufacturing and development. And he wrote an article about this game that they made called Wingspan. Most people have heard Wingspan, right? It's been a runaway success, and it's a game about birds. And no one expected it to be popular, right? Everyone was just like, it's fucking birds. But it's a beautiful, beautiful design. The aesthetic's really great. And so he does a normal print run for his games is either 10,000 or 15,000, right? And he's in a position with his company that he's able to afford to do 10,000 printings of a game in advance. He doesn't need to go to Kickstarter. He's got the funds there to do it. And so he printed 15,000 copies of Wingspan, fronted up, and it sold out in like a matter of days, right? Days. And so then, it's not, there's a lead time involved in printing games, right? So he's put in for another 15,000 order to get 15,000 more games, and that's going to take 2 months. And most of the games he's selling in this article, he's talking about, they make 7,000 to 8,000 copies they sell, and then, that's sort of it. He sold the next 15 grand, in an even shorter time frame, because the press on the game was outstanding. And there was this period there, I think he ended up placing an order for 50,000 games, whereas a normal print run is like 5,000 to 10,000. And just the logistics of, where do you store 50,000 games versus 10,000 games? You have to go get a larger warehouse to store them. They can't all be printed straight away. So, you might print 500 a day or whatever, right? So there's 40 days of printing, so you have to store them in one. Then you have the time involved in assembling the games and then shipping the games, and you have to buy double the number of containers that ship the games, and like the economies of scale just changes dramatically with that level of scale. And I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to shut up.
So I guess we should segue in. Like we're talking board games. What are the board games to do? Segue in.
All right, I will. Well, I'll give you another example because I was a little closer to this one. So there's a company called Steamforged Games, who is actually the maker of the game I'm about to review, and they had a very successful Kickstarter called Dark Souls, which made about 5 million US. I think it was about £3.5 million.
Was that based on the video game?
Was based on the video games, and it was Steamforge's first really big license, and so really successful. The problem that they had was that 3.5 million. You know, normally you get sort of 10,000 backers. That's a pretty reasonable number. They had 40,000 backers, and so 40,000 games is a lot of games to manufacture. And, you know, when you work on profit margins and blah, 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 you have a certain cost allocated to manufacturing all of the games. You have a certain cost allocated to shipping, a certain cost allocated to warehousing, all that sort of stuff, right? So, they're a business, so they have to make money, right? You don't begrudge them the opportunity to make money. No. But, when you have a profit margin of, maybe 20% or 30% on your total, that money doesn't go forever. So unfortunately, someone along the way cocked up and they got the measurements, the dimensions of the box incorrect.
There's always someone, isn't there?
Someone.
There's someone along the way.
Someone. And that someone, I don't know who it was. I couldn't find out. I was going to give him shit forever. But they went from there was like a 5 to 10 centimetre difference in height. And that doesn't sound like a lot. But what it did was it changed them from being able to fit 20 copies of a game onto a pallet to only being able to fit 15 copies of a game onto a pallet, which meant that they needed an extra 25% of all of their shipping costs, all of their packaging costs, all of their storage costs, when they only have a profit margin of 20%. And so their entire Kickstarter just went up in smoke, because some guy got 10 to 15 centimeters wrong. And so that whole, and Steamforged didn't talk about this publicly that I'm aware of. It was just sort of, a lot of people heard around the traps that this is what had happened. But they basically were about to declare bankruptcy because they could not afford to print the games anymore because they didn't have the profit, because they had to invest it in the other shit. And so they were only able to deliver because they had an external investor come in who was willing to invest in the company. And then they were also doing really well with Guild Ball at the time, and they managed to make like a fair bit of money on Guild Ball, and it managed to dig them out of the hole. But they were on track to deliver, and everything was looking good. And then this happened, and all of a sudden they just went radio silent, and they just stopped talking for like 18 months, and no one got their game. And then it finally turned up, and people were just up in arms because 50% of the people that had signed up for this Kickstarter had never done Kickstarter before and had no idea that it wasn't a shop. It was a proposition, an investment. So they ended up just getting taken from pillar to post in the the socials, and no one wanted to touch any of their games with a 20-foot pole. Every Kickstarter they did from then on, you'd have 100 people getting on there and going, "These guys fuck Dark Souls, it's the worst, don't buy anything from them, they're a bunch of con artists," and blah, blah, blah. And the thing that pisses me off in the end, right, is not only did they deliver on absolutely everything, they did it in the most trying of possible circumstances. So actually, instead of people going, Steamforge fucked us and there's a three-year delay, people should have been going, fucking hell, man, Steamforge pulled it out of the fire and got me the product that I paid for, despite, all of the challenges. So it's a shame, but they're starting to pull their way out of that now. Their recent Kickstarters have started to go pretty well. So yeah, I got a game of theirs called Bard Sung, which is like a little dungeon crawler, and we played it last night, and it was adequate. That is the extent of my review. I think I'm going to call this chick done. Actually, I don't know that there's anything else I want to do to her. Maybe it'll just add a little bit more airbrush blending on this side with some darker colours. Yeah. It is easier to throw shit at people. Anyway, that was a little insight into the world of Kickstarters and board games, which I'm a bit of an aficionado. I like following all that stuff and learning about it because I want to make my own game one day, is what it comes down to. So I try to stay across a lot of that stuff. Yeah, absolutely, and that was probably their biggest mistake in that whole process, was not what they not what they did in the background, but what they didn't do, which is just front up and say, you know what, we fucked it, and we've done our best, and this is how we're going to fix it. That was literally where they went wrong. So, yeah, absolutely spot on. I think I can. I'll show you my Kickstarter. Here's a couple of fun Kickstarter tips for you all, friends. Let's go and have a look at my Kickstarter profile. I don't think there's any hidden information in this. So these are all the projects I've backed on Kickstarter. So here is tip number one. If you're going to invest money in the Kickstarter, I only invest on a well-known manufacturer. Like, I'll only put a lot of money down if it's someone that I trust immediately. But I go in for the $1 pledge all the time, because one other thing that happens in Kickstarter is you get really enthusiastic about it because you're pumped up because they're sending out new figures and you're seeing new fucking models and you're like, yeah, this is mad and it's going to be great. And then the buzz dies down and you realise, fuck, I probably didn't really want to spend $7,000 on this board game that actually doesn't look very good. So I go for a $1 pledge, and then I will wait.
You like to watch, don't you?
Yeah, wait and see if I still feel passionate and enthusiastic about the board game. And so, for example, The Witcher, I didn't end up going in on. I put in for $1, didn't end up going in on. Everdell, I've already got most of it, didn't go in on. Bard Sung, didn't go in on. I bought it in a secondary market.
Did you end up going in on Elderwood? You end up, because you dollared that, didn't you, in the end?
Yep, Yarns of the Elderwoods, I'm $1 on that.
Yeah.
Unsettled, a new one. So all of these games were games that I was pumped up enough about to go, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to get on this.
Who's the winner right now? That one there. Oh, Echoes.
No, I think Hyperborea is actually, there you go. That's Swiss money, and that's fucking a lot of money. I think that's nearly $1,000.
Yeah.
Wastelands, €420. Zodiac. Hey, that's shipped, by the way. I should get that in the next few weeks. The Zodiac one. Because you get them straight away, yeah. But every now and then you get, I get in for some good stuff. Like Root, I bought that. I got everything on that. The Fields, I got that. Aeon Trespass Odyssey, I dropped about 600 on that. Oathsworn, I dropped 350 on that. Oath, 200 on that. Frosthaven, full stick on that. Ankh, 250. Hell, I put in all on
Have
that.
you played Ankh yet? Have you guys
Yeah,
played?
we've played heaps. Played like 10 games, I think.
Wes plays that as well, right? Is that one of the ones Wes is on? I think, if I remember correctly. He mentioned Ankh
Yeah,
stuff. He
yeah,
entered Ankh stuff.
yeah. Profile, log plays. Buy game. In March. I've played all Leon's Role Player and Tiny Epic Dungeons. Actually, I've got to put my Bard Sun games in from last night. In Feb, all Leon's Eclipse, Cascadia Oath, War of Whispers. Sure, we played some Ankh in January. Spirit Island, Castles, Eclipse, Root, Ankh. There we go, Cascadia. Yeah, played a lot. Anyway, if you've got some money that you're willing to say goodbye to in case something goes wrong, Kickstarter is a great way to invest in things that you're a decent chance of getting, but maybe you'll never know for sure.
Or just go to the Cass.
Cass it up. I don't mind the Cass.
A little dabble at the Cass.
Little dabble.
Are you on the pokes or are you on
Nah,
the
blackjack, my man. All about the blackjack.
a little bit of card reading going on? Deno extraordinaire.
I was quite good at poker in my younger days. Quite good at blackjack. So. Yeah, I think I'm just fucking around for the sake of fucking around now, so I think we'll call her a day here.
Send it.
Send it. There is nothing quite like a Kickstarter arriving that you've been waiting 2 years for. It's a really wonderful, enthusiastic feeling. And I am getting very close to feeling that on a number of games this year. There's been 4 or 5 games that are all due to come this year that I'm absolutely frothing for. Cool.
I think I can pull these guys done.
G'day, Warmaster Shalqui. It's going extremely well, mate. I think it's been a wonderful experience painting this figure, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. I like it a lot. Yep. All right, so see you, Jared. Let's have a look.
See you, mate.
Let's have a look at how the survey's going. The next figure that we'll be painting is it's up for contest bucks. Have you voted?
No, I'll be the tiebreaker.
All right. Well, I've also got a tiebreaker vote. So
Yeah.
we've currently got Pixie on 4, Lael from Diorgard on 4, Moorbacker from Mineworks on 5, and Soul Hunter trailing on 2.
Moorbacker and Leo, I need to look up what they look like. Do you still have that dwarf?
Which dwarf?
That fucking angry looking dwarf that's like ripping off a dude's head or whatever.
Grunkful.
Yeah, Grunful.
I sold that to Paulie. Gave it to him.
Nice.
Basically gave it away. This is Moorbacker.
Yeah, show me on stream so I don't have to.
So
Yeah, so that's an Ignis one, yeah.
No, this one's the...
Oh no, Mindworks, is it?
Mindworks,
No?
yeah. Mindworks, yep. Mindworks, based on that artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And Lael is from...
Wait, I think I just painted that, eh? I mean, Miniature Dan just painted that.
Yeah.
Did that.
Yeah. This is this dude. standing on the rock, the elf from thingy, the 54mm scale one with the, I think he's like got a dragon's cloak on him or something.
Maybe Pixie.
So you want to vote for Pixie?
Well, I think that there's a lot for you to get out of Pixie. Because that'll lead into some strong studies of Miss Natalia's wonderful paint job. Yeah, Grunkful Paul, you got him first, mate. Well done, because I wanted it.
So what happens when you get married, mate?
Tell me about it. I'm chopped liver these days. I'm chopped liver one way or the other.
Tanithlas, that's absolutely the key. It's like gambling. You are gambling with your money. And so making a decision when you're emotional is always a bad one, which is why I tell everyone, back for $1. Come back and decide when the Kickstarter pledge manager opens, and usually that's months away. And I invariably, I know if I want a game by a few weeks after the campaign, because if I'm still excited about it, I'm going to buy it in the Kickstarter. But if I'm not, well, then I've just saved myself a shit ton of money on a game that I'm going to have to try and sell. She's very small, though. Look at how small she is. She's a little baby. Little
Pixie,
baby.
yeah.
Well, if Al's voting for Pixie and you're voting for Pixie, the only way I could beat it is if I voted for Moorbacker and I had the tie-breaking vote myself. So let's just go for Pixie.
Pixie it is.
Looking out my back door. Where is my knife? How sharp is this blade? Probably sharp enough. Okay, let's go.
So I backed out of making this this elder guy a display model and decided he could just join the army.
Yeah, I think that's possibly the weakest decision you've made.
Oh, I pinned it so he can be on both.
Because I loved it. I loved how it was going. Wow, this is a good cast actually. I haven't had any mould lines that I can see yet. Nice work, Ignis. Let's grab Natalia's out so we can have a look at it and compare it.
It has such an interesting element on it. It's the only time I've ever seen it. It's the way she painted that base and the way it looks. I can't explain it, but it looks like a material just glued down.
Whoa, 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 mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you. So close to you, my baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Peter Andre.
Yeah.
Right?
Mysterious girl, move your body close to mine. G'day, Wes. I am not going to try and copy Natalia's, no. I've done that before. I copied one of her works. It was great. She loved it. I loved it. We're best friends now. But the reason I bought it was to be able to, look at it and understand her light placement and the colours that she chose. Yeah, so I'll grab her out. I'll grab her out now. You'd be surprised, mate. I can do soft. She should. She should. That's a good idea.
Yeah, can you zoom the base for us? Yeah. when you hold this in the hand, right, it literally looks like she's like put a texture over the like. It's hard to explain, right? You kind of get what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool though. Yes, the bubbles. That's one of the things she's got under the belt pretty solidly. Well placed texture. A classic example of it, eh, mate?
Mm-hmm. This area here.
Yeah, it does it for you like
This is
always,
it.
doesn't it?
Oh, this is it. This is the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like, look at how high value this is. We go to a salmon colour, we go to a purple, we go to a pale blue.
Yeah.
You know, the 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 impact of this area here, you know. This is the sort of shit I talk about all the time, right? Value, impact, you know.
This is one of the rare pieces that I think ultimately has been painted with a photo in mind, but it holds up so well everywhere.
It
Like,
does, but I tell you, when you look at, you know, this angle, it's
yeah,
cool. You know, this particularly this little blue bit is awesome.
yeah,
But as you turn around, you know, you get some weird ones like that. Just looks weird.
yeah,
You know, there's weird lights and colours there that shouldn't be there, but it works when you go to this angle, and
yeah.
you know, this is an uninspiring angle. Yeah, she's pretty great. I like it a lot.
Yeah, there's two or three of this that have been done really, really well.
Land Studio did one as well. It's the green one. It's
Yeah.
quite magnificent. One gets alone and make me heart go boom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you. How much did I pay for it? I Let me see if I can remember.
400 euro.
No, I think it was 600.
Euro?
Yeah.
Does that equate to for us? It's like 850.
Yeah. Natalia. Alright. Zoo. 550.
Yeah,
550 euro. Which I think is a bargain,
I
personally.
think so.
Um, yeah. Most of the look, you know, I'm said before, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to be in a position where I don't need to do this for a career, and I can, you know, occasionally sell some models and then use that to buy more models or buy models from other painters that I admire that I can then review
Yeah,
and stuff.
you've got it like nicely set up that it's kind of just funding itself, right?
Yep,
Like for the most part. Yeah.
yep. Which is pretty great. And so every now and then I'll splash out and buy a figure from someone who I'm really enthusiastic about. Like at the moment, I'm trying to get a land piece. I've messaged him about the last 3 that he's done, haven't been able to get one. Fucker.
Yeah, I noticed you put a few emails in my inbox recently, mate. I haven't looked at them though.
Already got one of yours, Bucks. Calm down. This goes like this. Yeah. So I'm very fortunate that that's the position that I'm in. I think probably it would surprise most people the prices that artists value their work at, and I think some people are way under what they should be. Uh, Genuinely crazy how cheap some of them are. Yeah. So if you
So
are
next
in,
on the list, mate, like outside of land, obviously.
I'd like to get a Sergio.
Yeah.
I haven't got a Sergio. I'd like to get a Land. They're probably the only two that I'm really. Yeah,
Arno?
Land was
Arno?
700. Yeah, I'd like an R now, and I'd like a Masculins, but
Yeah.
I want them to be the right ones for me, my
Yeah.
collection. So I can't afford
And
to
a
have
Kirill would be a
multiples.
dream, but you're waiting 3 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, I said to a couple of people, I want a land that's reflective of what I love about Land's work, which is non-metallic metal and crazy skin tones. And that water nymph that he was selling, which was a beautiful piece, didn't have either of those things. So hard to justify buying it.
His brother's a bit of a jet too.
Krzysztof Pizarski, yeah, he is a jet.
Mate, you know what we didn't talk about last time? My
What?
God, CHK
Uh,
dropping bombs the last time we visited
Fucking
him.
hell, how funny
How
was
much
it?
stuff he had going? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
and it was just like, hey guys, let me show you this cool thing I've been working on. Oh, let me show you this I've been working on. I've also been working on this, and this, and this, and every single one of them's just a fucking straight up banger.
What did you think about the Vi? Were you like, ooh,
Yeah, I loved it. Man, I will say that she was bigger than I expected her to be.
yeah, that's their official one. That's the action figure style one, statue style one that Riot did. Someone paint Silco for the
Yep, for the Craft World Challenge,
yeah.
someone sure did.
What did you think of it?
That was fine. It wasn't very good. Sorry to that person. It was okay. This is why I can't do
Yeah,
it. This is why I can't do a
I
post,
didn't
mate.
close look at it, so
It was cool to see Silco, but yeah, it was just like, yep. So this is an interesting paint, isn't it? How the fuck are you gonna how the fuck you paint this though? Seriously,
yeah.
how
Have you
the
got a plan for it?
I fucking got no idea how I'm gonna paint it. Like not from a
Yeah.
from a physically how do I hold the fucking thing perspective. I'm gonna have to paint it in sections, I think.
Will you be leaning on some of that experience from the fairy garden that you did for
Maybe,
this?
maybe.
That's a really nice. That was a really nice style.
Thank you, Andrew.
I really like that one actually. No, it's not my like. I'm not usually.
In
We all had our tastes in
Yeah, you
miniatures,
don't
and
like Ponty
mine's
stuff normally.
no, mine's pretty broad, but like yeah, I like to look at it. Would I like to do it? I probably wouldn't like to do it, but I like to look at it. Like
Yeah, I think she came out pretty good, Wes. Let me grab her for you, mate, because she's sitting right here. and you can have a look. I like it a lot. Yup. The sculpt does have some very large breasticles, doesn't she?
Quite absurd.
Absurdly large breasticles. That's not to everyone's tastes, and that's okay. We don't all need to like the same things, friends. All right, so this is a fucking bizarre. Okay, so this goes in here like this. Okay. How? No, like this. I don't fucking know. Yeah, like that. Okay, like that. All right. Wonder if I should pin
One
these.
guy has got like 30 gems on him, man. Unnecessary. Just
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Eldar need to calm down with the gems, don't they?
Just one. Just like one key one, you know? Or two.
Yeah.
Enough to make it like a feature.
This fucking figure's doing my head in, man. I can't I can't figure out how a head goes on. I think I got it. You know, it's not far off. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Gonna be good, man.
Oof.
I either get really onto Marvel or really off it, and I was on it hard when I was painting heaps of cross protocol stuff. Yana and I were like going through rewatching everything, doing the classic rewatch, and I was on it. And then I just went off a cliff. We got to maybe the second, like in proper order. We got to like Ant-Man 2, so pretty long way in.
Yeah.
And then it just was like just gassed out.
Yeah.
Like we haven't even really watched Endgame properly because we watched it on the aeroplane on the way home or on the way there. Can't remember which one it was, but
Where's
to be not completely enthusiastic about it, you know.
where's the Avatar of Cain is indeed an Eldar figure from Games Workshop,
It
and
is
there has been
indeed,
some
and
magnificent versions.
Marco's one.
Marco's one is a rip snorter.
I'm assuming both Andy and
Richard.
Richard will have one coming.
Maybe they're saving it for Golden Demon or something.
Maybe. That's something I'm excited about. Hey, that's an episode we can do when all of the Golden Demon stuff comes up. We could I say episode, but it's not really a fucking episode, is it? Yeah, it'd be exciting to go through the galleries and see what did well, see who did well. Because I think a ton of people are going over, eh?
Yeah. I see you, Bunny. You're a legend. Congrats on the new job.
See you, bum.
Yeah, some are probably not far off either, actually, friends, given that it just hit 3 hours on my stream. And that is normally my duration. So I'll just glue this little base together and I think we might call it a night. Yeah. Boo, 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 boo. Hey, Scooby, look what you're doing. Nice. Yeah, Ken's Anubis is looking legitimately awesome. I do like that guy's painting.
Who is this?
Ken, I follow him on Twitter, so does Wes. He's um, a painter from somewhere in Asia, and I know that because I'm very excellent deductive, and he paints and he writes in some form of Asian writing. So he's somewhere in Asia. Can't tell you where. Yes, actually, I'm not back in Japan. There you go. I'm not back on Sunday morning because I'm going to the women's NRL, so I won't be streaming Sunday. Or if I do, it will be a very short stream. I might do from like 7 to 9 because I think I have to leave by 9:30. So I may be on. I'll see how I'm feeling, see how busy we are. But yeah, and then next week back for Party Monday, and then off for work for a week, and yeah, then probably back to normal rhythm for a bit until I decide to get into my board games and my video making, as discussed earlier in the stream. All right, well, let's just do a wide shot because wonderful people, you're all amazing. Let's go find someone to raid. Bucks, you're still in the wide shot, mate. Look at that. I've prepared it.
How about that?
Fucking hell, I'm so good at this streaming malarkey.
You are.
Fucking hell. All right,
I need to get this headset off and get a good mic.
Yeah.
I need a good mic. It does my head in.
Twitch. Doop, doop, doop. Browse. All right, let's turn this on. Aha! All right, miniature figures. Who's on, out and about on a Wednesday night?
Who are we looking for? What are we looking for?
Mini
Let's
Den's
go for
doing.
1080. Let's go for someone grubbing it.
I just want to see what Mini Den's doing. What's he painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like something board gaming.
Interesting. Cool. All right, I like that guy. He's a nice dude. All right, Death Shrouds and Glow Ups. FTGT Evan. What are you up to, Evan? I see a 720p sauce, Evan, and I see a melon that could be an egg, for all I know. We could have a talking egg on show here, friends.
Egg cam?
This is he's put headphones on an egg. I shit you not. Evan, come on, mate. Do yourself a solid. Change the camera angle so people aren't looking at the top of your melon. Come on, son. Look, mate.
Melon watch?
Melon Cam. I'll start calling him John Mellencamp. All right, so I think that's probably a no for Mellencamp. What else have we got?
What's this puppet down here? Yeah. UN Shelby, UN Picky Pinter? There's a puppet thing?
Yeah, what is this? What is this clown doing?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that guy's not speaking in thingy, and he's also got a fucking 540p sauce. You are having a lend. You're having a lend. Ah, Peanut's back. Egghead's back. John Mellencamp. All right, who's this? English Australian Arcanax Atelier. Have we ever rated this guy or girl? I don't think so. We've got a 648p sauce. Is that my fault? Is it? Oh, we don't want to cast to a device. Don't do that.
I've been left-handed my whole life.
Nah, he's dead set rocking a
You guys
640p.
had enough of my crotch.
Yeah, but he talks like us, so...
No, look, it's a no from me. Arcanax
fair.
Atelier, you're kidding yourself. Just come on now.
Someone's got to be,
I am Katarina Joe, 18th. No.
What about Lioness Bus? Let's go that one.
Yeah, that looks like a good ticket. What's this guy doing? Real rad horn.
They are flat Earth loons.
Glorious mustachio.
Historical
That
conspiracy.
is.
Let's go.
We're just finishing up the last minute of them complaining about how everyone's concealing.
He's having a gibber, but
the Antarctic ice.
I've never seen him before, so let's have a raid.
Antarctic. And then, we have one of the infamous and wonderful conference calls that we will be taking a look over.
All right, friends. Catch you all maybe on Sunday, maybe not.
I love them. These
Look forward to
videos
seeing
so
you
much,
then. Have a great day, great stream.
so much stranger than Planet Earth is. So
Yeah,
much.
good mustache. We'll give him tickets for a raid for a mustache.
You've not come across
See you,
the
friends.
Australian conspiracy
See you, Bucks.
theory before?
See you, mate.
To your fucking
See you, everyone.
face.
Fishing fishbowl and
So yeah, they think that, okay, we'll jump to earlier in the video, because they've got diagrams of what they think the Earth looks like.